I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. Hey everybody, Aaron here. Glad to have you with me. This one we're going to do is What a Wonderful World. Let's jump right in. All right, this is a beautiful song, one of my favorites, one of the first ones I learned how to play on the piano once I understood chords and all of that. So it's a great one to take your piano playing to the next level. Click on the link in the description right now and follow along with me. This is going to take you to Ultimate Guitar. Now, when you get here, it's going to have you in the key of C. The song in the most popular version is in the key of F. And so to do that, you got to go to the bottom of the page where it says transpose and click the +1 button 5 times so that you are in the key of F like my chart is here. Okay, now let's take a look at each part of this song. I'm going to walk you through the parts so that you can know what to do during each part, starting with the intro. All right, this right here is middle C, and that's where we're going to put our pinky. And then our left hand is going to go down here with our middle finger on F there. And so you're going to basically be rolling the chords. So the first chord is an F chord, F in the bass, F, A, C in the right hand. And this song is in 6/8. So the pattern we're going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's just going to roll through. It's going to sound like this. Using a sustain pedal also to fill in that sound, but that's pretty much going to be the rhythm we do throughout this entire song. Okay, so the intro, we go F to G minor, so here's our G minor, G in the bass, G, B flat, D in the right hand, and the rhythm is the same there. Okay, so for the intro, we're just going to roll back and forth between F and G minor like this. Pretty straightforward, right? That's the intro. You could technically do it as many times as you wanted until you were ready to sing. Now let's take a look at the verse. All right, the verse starts almost exactly the same on that F chord, and we're going to roll through it like we just did, and then we're going to go to an A minor chord. So we're coming up here to this A in our bass in the left hand, and our F chord, we're just going to drop from this F to this E, and that's going to give us the A minor chord. So it's A in the left hand, E, A, C in the right hand, okay? Okay, and then we're going to go, it says A flat, A sharp, but that's technically B flat. I like to think of it as B flat. So now we're going to B flat here in the bass, and we're almost sliding everything up one note. So we're B flat, F, B flat, and D. And we're going to roll through that again, the rhythm. Let me get through the chords and then I'll put them all together in the progression as we roll through it, okay? And then back to the A minor chord. Okay, then the G minor chord that we did in the intro to the F chord. Okay, and then we get to this fun chord, this A7. So then what you're going to do here is from the F, you're going to drop these two lower notes down. You're going to have A in the bass, E and G, and then C sharp there. Okay, and it sounds like this as you roll through it. And that's an A7 chord, okay? And that's going to take us to the D minor. So we're going to drop down to D way down here, and we're going to play F, A, and D in the right hand. That's our D minor. And then we've got this D flat chord, which is cool. It's a real jazzy kind of a chord. You're just going to drop down to the black note here in the left hand, that's D flat, and you're going to take these top two and slide those down here like that, and that's going to be D flat. Okay, and then G minor 7. Before we did the G minor like this, to make it a 7, we're just going to lower the G to the F. So the G minor 7 is going to be G in the left hand, F, B flat, and D now. To a C chord, drop down to C way down here, and then E, G, and C, and then back to F. And that takes us through the whole progression. Now, the goal there in using the different arrangements or inversions of the chords in our right hand is so we don't have to move very much. You're basically going to play one time through each chord, rolling like I just showed you. So it's going to take a little practice to kind of get those chords memorized and underneath your fingers. But when you can roll through each one at a time, and then here's that D flat, we do it 2 measures. And then we go G minor 7 to the C to the F. And then it rocks back to the C here, just takes us into verse 2, okay, which is the same progression except for when you get to the end there, okay? But before we move on, you got those chords in that order, you've got that rhythm. All right, so now I'm going to play through it for you and I'll sing along to it so you can see how it all fits together. And I'm going to go kind of slow so that you can see how the chords are changing and keep up with me. But technically you should be going a little faster than me, all right? But it will sound like this. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. If you want to take longer, you can even rock back and forth between the two chords there before you're ready for I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Now here what you're going to do at the end of verse 2, it just goes to the G minor, kind of like you did in the intro. And it says to do G minor twice, and then back to the F. You can play with it whether you like doing the intro thing where you go F to G minor, back to the F, back to the G minor. It's up to you whether you want to do it strictly like this chart is written or kind of take your own variation on that, okay? But that's the intro, that's verse 1, that's verse 2, it's how they all fit together. Practice that chord change and the movement and the rhythms. It's a very beautiful change and transition between all of them. And you can see why I use those inversions because it makes it easy for my hand to get from one chord to the next, okay? So now let's look at the bridge. Alright, so we came off of the verse, we were F to G minor, let's go back to the G minor, and then we would go to the C here. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky. So you're doing 2 times on each chord basically, or 2 full measures, okay? So it's a C chord first, C in the left hand, E, G, and C up above, and you're rolling through that 2 times. Then to the F chord again, F, A, C. Back to the C chord again, also on the faces of people going by. Now D minor here, like we did before, friends shaking hands, saying how do you do? B flat or A sharp, there is sand. So let's go back to that D minor where we were, F, A, and D in our right hand, D in the bass, A minor, A in the left hand, E, A, and C in the right hand, and you're going back and forth between each of those, okay? And it's actually 1 time each chord, so I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? And then we're going to go to the B flat chord here, B flat in the left hand, F, B flat, and D in the right hand. They're really saying, and it might help here to stop rolling and just do the I love you, and just hit the chord. So the G minor chord, G in the left hand, and I threw in the D there too, the 5th, but you could do just the bass, the chord G, B flat, D, F chord, F in the bass, F, A, C to the C chord that we've been doing, okay? They're really saying, I love you. If you wanted to roll it, it would sound like this. They're really saying, I love you. So what you notice that I did there is I only made it halfway through. Bottom note, first 2 notes of the left hand, bottom note, first 2 notes of the left hand, and then you get all the way through. Okay? They're really saying, I love you. And I hear babies cry. Now we're into verse 3 there. We're winding down to the end. Let's look at the end of verse 3. All right, so the verse starts exactly the same. It's at the ending that it starts to change. Okay, so I'll run us into it. It's I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Okay, now we're on the F. We're going to go to an E E7 or E flat 7, drop to E flat. This is the E flat 7 up there. So E flat, G, B flat, and D. And then D7, drop to a D, F sharp, A, C. Okay, what a wonderful world. All right, you might let it ring out right there. Yes, I think to myself. G minor 7, C7 here. I don't think we've done a C7 yet, so it's C in the left hand. This is our C chord, E, G, and C, and we're going to drop this C down to the B flat instead. What a wonderful world. And he says F major 7 there, so that would be this note right here. You drop the F to the E. But I think you could even do the outro as the intro, right? What a wonderful world. Kind of just play it back and forth there, but you can see what you like to do as the ending. Okay, so one more time through that ending, it would be they'll learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Something like that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take a moment, jump over to Amazon, check out my book, A Piano Chord Book you can actually use. It's going to be a great resource as you learn how to play the piano. Do me a favor, drop me a like and a subscribe, share. Anything you can do to help spread the word is appreciated. God bless you guys, and we'll see you next time.